morning.
Okay, I'd like to welcome you all to another one of our paid co-founder trainings that we do Mondays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It happens to be Thursday, May 19th. So uh, it's the last training we're going to do for this week. Now, as of Monday, we started paying you guys with PML over to your holding area. And you can look at it like you're getting a lot more PML right now because of some certain things going on. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but just appreciate that, you're getting pretty much twice as much PML than I would expect would be getting about now. So you're getting twice as much by coming to training. So should be happy to attend trainings, but as far as I'm concerned, that's going to be huge. And remember, for every dollar you're collecting in PML, and when you look at what the value is on the new coin, it's $1 million. Okay. And I'm going to talk about why there's such a huge opportunity there. I'm going to talk about that today too, because you guys really need to see that this is like literally once in a lifetime kind of stuff, this new opportunity. And we'll be launching it on April 6th. That's only 3 weeks away from right now. So that's coming up very, very, very soon. All right. So let me see here. Where do I want to start? Let me share my screen. Okay. Let's jump into the website here. Okay. So everything that we're doing now is going into this area here. So whenever we're, it's a sending coin, you know, whether you're getting it from doubling it from the loans or rebates or whatever. It's going here in the holding area. And that's also true for your paid training. Okay. Your paid training is coming here into the holding area. Okay. Because basically we'll be adding the two of these up together. And really the numbers that matter is this number down here added to this number down here because the value doesn't really have a lot of meaning. It's just what it is on that particular moment. That's not a long-term thing. But the number of coins that you're holding, that's going to matter a lot, especially in the new opportunity. Okay, the new coin community that we're rolling out. So that's where it's going. And when people come in and they grab a star position or they grab a diamond position, we had another one from Africa do that. And it's going here into the holding area. Okay. So, and it's perfectly safe there. We do backups on top of backups on top of backups. We have like so many backups. So we know the data is solid, when it goes into the holding area. Okay. Of course, your wallet is backed up by the blockchain, but it's not backed up by I right now I'm seeing that the what's sitting in people's wallets is more exposed. And I really want to talk about this today. We really got to do everything possible to reduce exposure on anything that's going on with the wallet. Okay. Let's take a look at our price here. So where did it go? Be right there. Okay, so we look at the price of, no, that's not it. I don't know what happened to it. No, I'll have to make a new slab over here. Let's just go
Price has fallen quite a bit.
PML. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Let's say ape space, ape space. Not sure which one it is. I think it's this SPFG. Well, go here, see what happens. Yeah, it's PML. Okay. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's version 3 of the software PML. Okay. So we had a pretty large sell-off happening right here. So I found this new trick right here. If you go over to the price area, you can actually if you're on a computer, you can slide the price up and get a better idea what's really going on here, or you can slide it down if you want to, or you slide it up, you know, you have different choices here. Okay. So, but anyway, we had it sold off. It was actually there was the big sell off, the one I'm really you want to talk about is this one right here. So that's what we want to talk about today. Okay. Why is it not capturing all the data? Let me do a refresh. And let's zoom in. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so basically sold off from like 100 and a bit real close to 120,000 way down here. Got down below 50,000 for a moment. Okay. For a small moment. Okay. So that big one right there, it's one of the biggest we've ever seen. What happened there? Let's talk about it. What happened is that I believe it's a star, one of our stars, um, they weren't completely secure with their device. Someone hacked their device,
Oh,
you know,
great.
and got the coin. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. The holding area, there's pretty much no way to hack that. You know what I'm saying? But if someone can get access to your device or they can get access to your 12 words, you know, so this is why I really appreciate what Hunter does. If you haven't gone through some of the Crypto Cove training that's on his YouTube channel, okay, he covers how to protect your wallet from being hacked. Like he's gone over and over and over again so many times. Am I right, Hunter?
Yes, indeed. And I also post some quick tips on the Wall of Joy every now and then as well, usually about twice a month, although I'm thinking of increasing it to maybe once a week now.
Okay, so bottom line is, it's even though this is technically Hunter's thing, the whole Crypto Cove, that's his own little thing, and he's been very generous with his time, with what he's done for the community there. But if you don't understand how to properly protect your device, get trained, okay? Especially if you're holding a lot of coin in your wallet, I might make a little feature where you can maybe just move your coins into the holding area because you're not going to sell it anyway, right? Might as well just put it all in the holding area. Then it's not gonna, it's not gonna be a problem. But at the same token, how big of a problem is it? In the larger scheme of everything, it's really not that big of a problem because those of you that are trying to get more PML so that you get more of the new coin coming up in a couple of weeks. Well, right now you got super low price where maybe the equation of $1 equals, $1 million, it might be more like 25 cents. I had to go redo the math. So I believe when I did the math, we were sitting around $200,000 in the price of PML. So in my head, with the current price being around 50,000, it might be more like for every 25 cents that you can get at this price. Anything you're purchasing at this price, the current price, probably every 25 cents is worth $1 million in the new coin. So that should encourage all of you that are excited about accumulating as much as you can so that your slice of the pie is as big as you can get it. Okay, because when we take the pie out of the oven, okay, that's it. It's we're gonna it's gonna be sliced up and that's it. So that's you'll take advantage of the next couple of weeks to do that. So, but after we get through this, then security, we'll come back to the issue of security. And it really, you are probably the weakest link in blockchain security. Think about that for a minute.
Yes.
Okay. So when you look at blockchain security, I mean, there's so many safeguards there, so many, what's the word? They repeat, they duplicate, they copy. What's that called?
Validators.
Well, I mean, the information gets copied again and again on server after server after server, right? So that's it's immutable, right? I mean,
Hmm.
you can't someone can't go in there play with the data because they'd have to have access to every single node on that network, right? And then
Right.
have some pretty tricky software to go in there and change data. In other words, it's basically impossible to change data on a blockchain because it's being copied over and over and again as it goes from one computer to the next and to the next and to the next. And there's thousands of these in each network. Some probably Binance has
Yeah.
probably got tens of thousands of nodes, you know. So
Yeah. You need to control at least 51% of all the nodes out there in order to do any sort of trickery thereof. And even so, even if that happens, the community surrounding that network could just fork off of it, and that new fork that's now more secure and doesn't have those compromised nodes, that then becomes the new network.
right. So safeguard after safeguard after safeguard. And it's the idea is to have something that's trustless, right? You don't have to trust anybody. This technology is all you got to trust in. But you yourself, okay? We're not perfect. I know I'm not perfect, And so I just want to take time. Oh, by the way, let's open up the chat so people can put in their wallet addresses for the paid training. You're going to get paid today in PML. We're going to do that up until the launch and then maybe go back to PFG after that. I don't know. But right now it'll be PML up until we launch. And it's going to just be extra. So I encourage you to get to more trainings and, drill deep in this. Okay. All right. So back to security. If you can just look at it the way I'm looking at it, like I look at it, I'm the weakest link in the security of the coins in my possession. Okay. And so, yeah, it's something I take very serious and bottom line is I can make improvements on everything I've done already. I can do better. I know I can do better, but it's an ongoing thing that we should all be, aware of because these hacks, even though we're not talking about a whole coin, I think we're talking maybe I think it was like maybe 5% of a coin, something like that. Might have been but because they were so eager to sell it, they sold it for cheap. If you ask me, they had a half a coin worth quite a bit if they had just played with it, but they just whoever hacked it just sold everything. And I have a feeling that it was someone outside the community because it had something to do with the Phantom wallet. So they got, the person got confused between their Phantom wallet and MetaMask, and and MetaMask carries access to the Phantom wallet as well. So anything that's on that blockchain, I get it was that Solana, is that the network?
Yeah, Solana.
So the Solana network uses, most people use Phantom, but you also have, that network, MetaMask is putting everything into one place, all of your coins into MetaMask. That's something they've been working on for the last couple of years. So just realize that security matters, and if someone gives you a security tip, consider them doing you a favor, and that you should do your very best to heed all advice when it comes to security. But here's what I'll give you my simple advice to you. If someone sends you a link and when you read the link, okay, if you don't recognize the domain of the link, then even if it's someone that you know sending you the link, if you don't recognize the domain, then don't click the link, okay? Because it will expand whatever that link is attached to, okay? Same thing with pictures, right? You have to look at a picture before you click on it. You got to look at, what is the dot, what comes after the dot. And if it's not one of the normal formats, okay, you know, if you see like a dot exe and it's a picture, that's not a picture. That is someone trying to hack you. Okay. All right. So just learn, to just be careful when you click around on any kind of messages that you get, and make sure you click on things that you're aware of, because if you're not aware of it, then sometimes it's better not to click on it at all and ask a question, send the question back to the person sending it and say, I don't recognize this particular domain. Have a conversation about it, right? And then go from there. And 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 then maybe you do a Google search. You can always go to Google and take the domain, right? And do a Google search on the domain. And if there's any problems with it, usually a Google search will identify whether that's a known address that should be concerned about. So does that advice make sense to all of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's my tip for you. Okay. I learned that the hard way. I lost access to one of my Facebook accounts because I clicked on a picture one day from someone I. Really knew well. Someone happens to live here in Utah, you know. So I knew them very, very well, and I clicked on it, thinking it was coming from this person that I know very well. And boom, all of a sudden, the next thing I know, I started seeing the mouse move around on my computer screen, and I wasn't the one moving it. So I immediately unplugged the computer, and just shut the power off and try to isolate it. But thank God they didn't get into my computer, but they got I couldn't get back into that Facebook account. So it's a Facebook account that I lost a long time ago. So, and I didn't really care to renew it anyway. So so someone that's happened to you too, Darlene, huh? All right, yeah. Yeah. So okay. So I'm talking to you about this because if you want to know what happened on the chart, one of our dear supporters. Okay, think about it. They're one of our stars. These are someone that they're really serious about what we're doing here. They've stepped it up, you know, and this happened to them. And there's quite a bit of evidence that that's that they were hacked, right? Right. Hunter's aware of the whole situation, right?
I am.
Yeah, so we know what's going on there. Anyway, so everything's going to sort itself out. We're going to figure it out, make this sort out properly. But take advantage of the low price. You know, hey, $1 million for 25.
Buy the dip.
Yeah, buy the dip. I mean, $1 million for 25 cents is better than 50 cents. $1 million for 50 cents is better than $1. So those of you that can buy more than a few dollars worth of PML, maybe buy a chunk, go for it. Because yeah, whoever has the thing is the slice of the pie will matter. Okay. So I'm telling you, if you have a small slice, like the smallest you can get right now would be $20 million worth. Okay. Now you might be thinking, well, that's the smallest, that's enough for me, you know. But I'm telling you right now that later on, when it comes time for negotiations, and you'll be like looking at up ways that you can convert equity here into assets that you want, get what you want. Okay, the last video. Okay, get what you want. You know, um, the more this the bigger the slice of pie you have, the more negotiating power you got. I don't know. Can I be more clear than that? That's pretty clear, isn't it? Do I have to be even more specific? Right? It's negotiation. This is your chance to learn how to be great negotiators. Okay. And might not be something you'll be doing immediately, maybe 6 months from now or a year from now that you'll be negotiating. But when negotiations begin, you don't want to have just the smallest slice out there. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to have as big of a slice as you can get. And your window is shrinking, and now it's down to about 3 weeks. And that's it. Okay. Hope that's pretty clear. Okay. So this is a huge reward. I mean, the word huge is not a big enough word. I don't even think they've invented an English word that can measure just how big this is. Okay? Like huge, gigantic. I can come up with humongous. None of them are going to do justice to the meaning I'm trying to put out there. Okay? They haven't invented an English word to describe how big this is. Okay? How about that? That's that big. Okay? And if you miss it, you miss it, you missed it. So what? That's on you. Okay? Wasn't like I didn't tell you ahead of time. So you're going to want as much of the new coin as you can. And the only way you're going to get that is you got to buy PML. And that should put plenty of buying pressure onto PML. So is the price going to stay where it's at very long? Probably not. But even if it does, it don't matter to me. Right now, what matters to me is making sure that our new coin and the community and everything we're doing there that has a successful launch. That matters. Okay. Then from there we'll have momentum kick in, which that's the missing ingredient. We've been missing that for practically the entire 2 years. There's only been little short bursts of momentum we've had in the last 2 years. We need something that's sustainable, a long fast growing situation. Okay. We need to create momentum. So this new opportunity should inspire all of us as owners. Okay. This isn't you joining my deal. This is you joining our deal. I respect you as owners when it comes to this new venture with the new coin and everything. Okay. Yeah, we did come up with a name, but we're keeping it a secret now. So those of you that are not already in, you'll find out when we launch it on April 6th what the name is. Okay, but we're excited. We're very excited about April 6th. You should be excited about getting the biggest slice of pie that you can. And I'm telling you right now, the easiest way to get a big slice, you can become a diamond or a star. Of course, the star is going to be your best bet, right? I've been offering, a quadruple on the star and a triple on the diamond, where if you put $500 in, triple that, it's 1,500. If you put $1,000 in to become a star, quadruple that, it's $4,000 worth of the PML. Okay. And it's going into your holding area onto the PML website, and it's solid there. No worries. So there you go. And then of course you need to opt in, but stars and diamonds don't have to opt in. It's the $100 is included for the opting in. So again, the best value you're going to find here is taking one of those diamond or star positions, okay, while they last. So there you go. If you can't afford to come in as a star or a diamond, it's okay. Opt in. Find that $100 and opt in and just get as much of the PML that you can. I mean, right now, if you're holding about, I don't know, $7 or $8 of, I'm sorry, take that back. Yeah, if you're holding about $7 or $8 of PML right now, then you probably have 0.0001 or a little bit more than that. So that's the smallest amount. So, so depending what the actual price is right now. So it doesn't take much of this low price. 0.001, that's your $20 million deal right there. 0.000. That's three zeros after the point, okay? 0.001. That's your $20 million deal. If it's a two instead of a one, That's $40 million. If it's a three, then it's if it goes 0.0003, that's 60,000, $60 million. Okay. So you understand you can do the math in your head. Any 000 and then a number, the one is going to be 20 million, and then it goes up in 20 million increments after that. 20 million, 40 million, 60 million, 80 million, 100 million, right? So 5000, triple zero five would put you at the um would put you at the $100 million worth slice. But still, that's a small slice. Okay. If there's three zeros in the number, you got yourself a small slice. Okay. You got two zeros, you're a medium slice. You're a medium slice of the pie. If there's only one zero, right? If it goes 0.0 and then a number, you got a chunk. You know, you'll be able to see your size. It's gonna have a double digit percentile. Okay, it's gonna be a lot. Okay. So it's gonna be a lot. So you want to get as big a slice as you can get. Okay. And the time is short to do it. All right. Any questions about any of that I've talked about already? No? Okay. All right. So let me talk to you now about legs. Let me move over to legs. Let me just find something real quick. I turned off Telegram. I'm gonna turn it back on. Let me get the website up here. So this is just a temporary website. Okay. Just a temporary website, but we're working on legs. It's coming along pretty good.
You're not sharing your screen. Not sure if you're meaning to yet.
Yeah, I'm waiting for me to get so I've got it now. So hopefully
Uh,
we'll see if I can stay there. Now I want to share my screen now. Let me turn Telegram off again. Quit Telegram. Okay, share screen. Share. Okay, can you guys see this okay?
Yep.
yes.
So maybe if you're on a smaller screen, legs is going to look something like this. Okay. Like if you're on a phone, for example, might look something like this. Okay. But I like laptop screens. So this looks like this right now. Okay. And yeah, it's moving along, it's being coded. And here's what it should do when it's finished. Okay. I'll just talk to you about it. When you sign up for legs, okay, it's going to do a couple of things. The first thing it's going to do is going to geolocate where you're at. Okay. How many of you are tired of fake leads where, I don't know, no offense to someone in Nigeria, but let's say someone in Nigeria poses as someone in the US, right? That's never happened before, has it? But anyway, pretending to be someone that's in the US and and maybe even changes their name a little bit to seem more American, right? But it's not an American, it's someone from Nigeria. Nothing wrong with people in Nigeria. I'm just saying that we've all seen this, right? Am I right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It's not just Nigeria. It could be India. I mean, there's just a lot of places that it's like you just wish you were dealing with somebody that was honest and like if you're in the country, let us know you're in that country. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing the website's going to do when you go to sign up is it's going to geolocate you and you're going to agree, yep, you found me. That's where I'm at. Okay. So immediately we're going to know what country you're in, but we're also going to know what state or province you're in. Okay. Like, boom, just instantly. That's, believe it or not, almost every website out there is doing that, and they just don't tell you that they're doing it. Were you guys aware of that?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just normal stuff. But that's the first thing that happens. But we're going to be upfront with the whole thing that, hey, it looks like you're in, Ace, it looks like you're in Utah, USA. Is that correct? Yes, right. Okay. And so it's going to do like that. And the second thing it's going to do is say, okay, we would like you to take a good picture. We want you to represent yourself well. So you're going to be the one that's going to, take the picture, but you're going to use the camera, right? It's going to be in real time. So you're not going to be able to upload a picture. So no uploaded pictures will be allowed. Okay. Why is that? Same reason, right?
Fake.
Yeah, too many fakes out there. And actually there's ways to, the software's gonna be programmed so someone can't hold up a picture in front of their camera, because that's called spoofing, by the way. And it's easy to detect when someone's trying to spoof it, right? You can tell, when you're trying to hold a picture. It just doesn't work. So yeah, so it's gonna take a picture. So now you know who the person is, so where they're at, where they're located at. Okay, it's important information. Okay, and then um, we're not going to ask them to verify their name, but we're going to ask them for a name, right? But we're not technically going to ask them to verify. So that's one thing that could be, people, privacy, internet. If they use a different name, so what? You know what I'm saying? But at least you know what they look like and where they're at. And they're also going to tell you, their annual income. Okay. So they're going to indicate that, you know. So um, it should make sense. Again, this will be one of those things that you're going to basically, depend on them to be a little bit honest about, their annual income because it's going to be like a range, pick the range that you're in, right? Probably will make it cap out at 250,000. So 250,000 plus per year, you know what I'm saying? So, but just you pick the range that you're in. It'll be like a slider. And why is that important? Why should if you're trying to share a business opportunity with someone, why would you want to know what the other person's annual income is? Why would you want to know that?
See whether they're capable of investing in it.
Yeah, if they say that their annual income is $5,000 a year, but you're trying to present $1,000 opportunity, you need $1,000 to join it, right? Do you really want to waste your time or their time having a conversation? If you they said their income is 5,000 a year, are you really going to pick that person to throw $1,000 opportunity in front of them? Are you going to do that? Probably not, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So so this is going to be the information you'll have, okay, when you pay $20, you get 100 of these, okay? So that generic profile, it doesn't include their phone number, it doesn't include their email address, it doesn't include any other contact information. There's no way to chat with them, right? Until you're willing to pay them, okay? So they're also going to tell you how much 5 minutes of their time is worth to listen to you, okay, about whatever you're trying to present to them, okay. So that's also going to be in a slider from free to $99, okay. So for me, I'm going to choose $50, just so you know. I mean, if someone wants my time, I feel like my time is worth $50 for 5 minutes of it. I don't want my phone ringing off the hook. I'm busy doing other things. I've got to serve this community as best as I can. So I'm going to be limiting my time looking at other stuff. Does that make sense, guys? So that might be a,
Yes.
that might be a
Yeah.
deterrent. A lot of people wouldn't be willing to pay me $50 just so they can put their little deal in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Even for just 5 minutes of my time. And even if someone gets 5 minutes of my time, doesn't mean I'm going to be interested, does it? Right?
exactly. Right.
Okay, so be aware of that. Okay. Whereas someone that might not have any friends, they might put free on there just so that they can make some friends. Maybe that's what's missing in their life if they don't have any friends. Like if you struggle to get one or two people to sign up for anything that you're doing, you probably don't have any friends. That's your problem. To be quite honest with you, your problem is you don't have friends. You don't have people that actually trust you enough to look at a business opportunity that you might want to put in front of them. You might have a lot of acquaintances. You might know like everybody up and down the street, but that doesn't mean you're friends, where you could say, hey, I got a cool deal. You could join me on it. You know what I'm saying? Right? So maybe you put free on there, and then maybe you make $80,000 a year and you're an American and you're in such and such state. And you look good on, you took a nice, you took a nice picture. Gonna mute you, Rita. I don't know what's going on there. So, but yeah, you might make $80,000 a year, and you put free. Why? Because there's 100 people above you that they might look at you going, you put free, you're making 80,000 a year. He's American. And, would you reach out to that person? Would you? If you had a business opportunity?
Yes.
So, in other words, strategy. I'm giving you some strategy right now. Okay. Because each one of us is different. Okay. I got a lot of people that listen to me. If I want to share something, I can go, and share, but also I'm very, aware not to cross lines. Like I'm very careful, not to cross lines. But when it comes to legs, it's almost like if it's the 100, then it's not crossing any line. That's just how the roll of dice went. You know what I'm saying? So the 100 people that come in below you on that leg, those are your leads for $20. Then the people are going to tell you how much their time is worth. And then you're going to have to, you can go, you'll have criteria, you'll have their picture, where they're from, their name, and how much their annual income is and what they want for 5 minutes of their time. And if that lines up for you, you click on it, and then that much of the new coin is going to leave your wallet right there, even before you talk to them. Okay. It's going to go in like escrow. Okay. It's going to escrow at that point. And then you'll be able to communicate with them. At that point, you'll be able to chat with them, just saying, hey, let's set up a Zoom. So you set up a time. Okay. And then as soon as the Zoom call starts, then what will happen is the person that's getting paid will say, please release the escrow, get me paid, and then you can have 5 minutes. Okay. So at the beginning of the Zoom call, the person presenting a business opportunity is going to release the escrow into the wallet of the person that's going to give 5 minutes of their time, and then go from there. Now, if that conversation lasts 45 minutes, it's okay. The person that gave 5 minutes of their time, they agreed to 5 minutes. And at the end of 5 minutes, they can say, even at 10 minutes or at 15 minutes, and they say, no, I think I've heard enough. It's just not going to be a fit for me. You know what you're saying, right? But they could do that as early as 5 minutes. Does that sound good, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds okay. Yeah.
If it goes on for 45 minutes, maybe they're interested. It's like, maybe you got yourself a new sign up in whatever opportunity that might be, right? How about that? Okay. So the bottom line is this is a private conversation happening between two people on a Zoom call face to face. Everything's up front and there's nothing dodgy about it. Okay. And I think it's time for something like this when it comes to leads because I was once in the market recently for leads and I was seriously disappointed in what I paid for. Okay. Paid thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of crap.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible, right? I mean, trying to talk to people interested in a business opportunity, and everybody that's participating in legs, they're interested in business opportunity. Either they're already in one or they want to be in one. Okay. But they're definitely interested. I mean, certainly everybody's was going to be interested in, people paying for their time, you know, and there you go. You probably have people that say, okay, for 5 minutes of my time, it's going to cost you $5. Maybe they're not looking that much for another opportunity, but they'll collect $5 bills as they come, from the 100 people above them, right? They'll collect, they'll collect that. And if maybe they come across something that does, create some interest for them. Okay. And Joe, I hope you're relevant to the
Yeah.
topic. So,
Yes,
okay.
definitely.
All right, go
So,
ahead.
so just to verify, this works both ways. So you give someone 5 or 10 minutes of your time. It's either we are promoting to them or what we have, or we are listening to what they have to offer the marketplace, and then we see if that's going to be a fit. Is that correct?
Well, think of the leg and think of where the knee is located on the leg. Okay? Look at the kneecap. Now,
Yeah.
above the kneecap, that's the 100 people that probably want your time, 5 minutes of your time, right? Depending if your price is right. Okay,
Uh-huh.
as far
Yeah.
as they're concerned, right? And below that kneecap, the 100 people that you could actually pay them for their time. Okay, so you're going to meet people perhaps above you as well as below you, right? It's 100 above and 100 below. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was 100, but
I'm trying to help you see it. Trying to give you an insight because the people above you are going to reach out to you, right? So you'll get a notification from them, right? You won't
okay.
be you
And
won't be able,
okay.
you won't be able to see them until they say I'm willing to pay you. Only the people that are willing to pay you, you're going to see them,
Okay.
right? But
And that
certainly,
can come from above or below.
well, it's above.
It's above.
But the people below, you're the initiator, okay? Right? So if you don't reach out to the people below you, then they're not going to hear from you. They don't even know you exist, right?
Okay.
But if you see something like, like if I had a list of 100 and I saw 25 free, you know, I probably seriously consider talking to all 25 of the free ones, right? If I'm really trying to get my opportunity off the ground, you know what I'm saying? Why
Hmm.
not? It's free. It's 5 minutes, doesn't hurt. Just because um, you know, you could talk to a person for 5 minutes and use that as a qualifying period to see if they're even something that it would be a fit for them to be in your opportunity anyway. That's part of how you could use that 5 minutes.
Yeah, it
So,
doesn't take long. Yeah.
but if someone says $1, you might, maybe you got 15 of them that are $1. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, I was spending like, um, for every $100, I might have got 100 leagues, dollar each, but over 90% of them were unreachable. So in a way, I was really paying like $10 a lead because I think everything else was fake crap, right? And even the 10 were dodgy because, no picture, nothing, right? No way to really confirm that they were actually a person that's even considering business opportunity, right? So there you go. All right. So um, some people refer to the concept here of multiple streams of income. Okay. So let me just throw another picture in your mind here. Okay. Let's say on business A, you're pulling in $1,500 a month. Okay. You're not, it's not making you a millionaire or anything like that, but it's still $1,500. Any of you not interested in $1,500 a month? Okay. Maybe business B, maybe you're making like $700 a month in business B. Maybe business C, maybe you're making $500 a month. But maybe after you add up all the different streams of income that you got, maybe you're pulling in over $5,000 a month, right? But most of the businesses are kind of like passive, and they're not really, doesn't require too much time or effort to keep the money flowing, right? And if you got practically $5,000 a month coming in somewhat passively, are you happy about that?
Yeah,
And even
definitely.
and even if you didn't do much with it yourself and it just kind of grew, and maybe a year later it doubled to $10,000 a month, and you didn't really make that much of a difference. Your effort wasn't really what made it grow. It just happened to grow, right? These multiple streams of income. You see my point when I'm trying to make here, right? So legs can lead you in a direction of multiple streams of income. And then the one thing you just got to be, protect as much as possible is your time. Just protect your time. And you can learn from the greats like Ken Russo here. He's got a lot of organizational skills, to keep all these different businesses that he pays attention to sorted out. Am I right, Ken?
Yes, it's pretty time consuming. It's
But you have like an organization though. You keep things organized, and you try to group things together where they belong. I imagine you'd have to, because
you absolutely have to. You go crazy.
yeah, because you can't just have it all meshed together. And make it, like you said, it'd be on the brain. But with a little bit of organization skills, you can carry on, multiple streams of income, you know, and that's all good. And in fact, if you look at most of your billionaires, they have multiple streams of income, Many millionaires have multiple streams of income. Not all, but many. But it's the people that are broke. They only got one income. Okay. Right? You see my point? So um this is why I think legs could be a real benefit to humanity. And it's only $20. Half of that $20 is going to go to the person that invited you to join legs, right? So every time you pay $20 for another 100 leads, every time you do that, then $10 of that is going to the person that invited you, or $10 of every time your referrals. Let's say you had 10 referrals, and on average they're buying three or four of these $20 things every month, right? Then it adds up. It's gonna it's helpful, right? It's gonna it's not the $1 million deal, but it is an easy money, right? Because you once a person signs up, you really don't have to do much more than that. You're done. Super passive. Legs would be a super passive way to grow. So just sign up as many people as you can into legs, and then as they purchase, you're going to get paid again and again and again. And the idea is forever, right? That's the idea, really. We want this to go on forever. But the funny thing about this is at the end, when we look at this first leg, it's going to go way down there. It's going to go on and on and on, one after the other. So every time someone, signs up again, it has to be at least 100 spots below their last spot, first of all. So it'll know that. Okay. And you can take as many spots as you want, you know. I mean, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars. If I had taken thousands and thousands of dollars and put it into the legs, oh my God, I would have had more data that I could trust in, to make a good choice and talk to people, right? And the best part about here is we're paying the person for their time to listen, and hopefully what that means is that they're listening with intent. Okay, you're getting their real attention. You're not getting just like a half-hearted attention. And hopefully, someone's paying you for your time. Then you're going to show up in a way with some integrity, like you're taking time to listen to their deal, and they're paying you for your time. So therefore, you give them your full attention for 5 minutes. That's Fair? Wouldn't you guys agree? And,
Yes,
and maybe
Yep.
maybe they're talking and maybe you're not asking your questions and you're answering their questions and you get to about 4.5 minutes and you haven't been really interested in what they're saying, but suddenly right around 4.5 minutes into the conversation, they say something like perks your like, well, like, wait a minute, you're onto something here. Now I might be interested, right? And maybe the conversation carries on for another 5 minutes after 4.5 minutes, right? And then the next thing you know, you actually sign up. Well, you're not necessarily going to get someone, to be, excited about something after only 30 seconds, right? It might take a couple of minutes. If they got something that's going to resonate, 5 minutes should be enough to figure out if that's going to be the case or not. And it's the two parties after that 5 minute period is over, it's up to them to carry on or not, especially the person that their time is being paid for. If they say that I'm good, thank you, I'm good, that's where the conversation should end if it's been 5 minutes. Make sense, right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
yes.
Was this more clarification on legs? Did this help you understand legs? It's going to be an anchor here in our digital marketplace. So,
I'd say so.
all right. So let's take a poll here. I'm just curious if I sold you on legs or not. Just give me a Y
Quick
or a
question,
yes.
eh?
What, who is that?
Scott, quick question.
All right, Scott, are you sure you want to insert a question right now? Can we do it after?
I think it's relevant.
I don't think it is. How about when you say, I'm going to
Okay.
put you off,
Okay.
okay?
I
I don't
can
want you,
wait. I can wait.
I don't want you to blow
Okay.
my presentation. I've done my
All right.
presentation. All right.
Okay.
It's either a yes or you can say no. Y for yes, N for no, or you can write out yes, write out no. But if I've captured your attention and you'd like to pay $20 to be a part of this, so you get to be the lead as well as you get up to 100 people that you're going to have enough information on them to decide if you're willing to pay for their time or not. Okay. Does the lead program sound like something that you'd be excited to use? So far, I'm getting lots of yeses. I haven't seen any nos yet. Mary still got questions. Fair enough. Scott, I know you still got questions, or you got something to say. All right. Okay. Well, I'm feeling pretty good about this right now with all that, with all the yeses I see. Okay. Now, Scott, now you can insert your thing. The timing is better.
Okay.
Okay.
I just wondered, are you going to supply some marketing material for the marketplace
Well,
and for legs?
yes, of course. Yeah. And we're not limited to what I supply, right? So I've seen people
Mhm.
like Paul, for example, out of the UK. Some of the stuff he's done is just, even better than what I've come up with. So all of this begins on April 6th. All of this, what we're talking about today. That's the beginning. That's our launch date for both the digital marketplace and legs and the new coin. All of it begins then. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So pretty exciting. Um, so yeah, you look at the super low price on PML, if you really understand what that really, really, really means, instead of feeling bad right now, you should be feeling like, oh, perfect timing. Thank you, God. Thank you for giving me a bargain right ahead when I'm going to buy some of the stuff anyway, right? I mean, if you're going to buy the stuff anyway, you want a lower price, am I right? So,
Right.
yeah, I'd be thanking God right about now, even though I didn't want the price to get down this low. Be honest with you, I didn't want it to come down. I didn't want it to come down like that. But sometimes the universe, that's what I like to call. If you want to go generic, you don't want to trip people's wires when it comes to the religious beliefs and all that. I just revert to the universe. Sometimes the universe has a better plan, something better in mind than what maybe we do, and things happen for a reason, usually a good reason. So I figure all this is happening to benefit us the most that possible, because I know we're loved. I know I'm loved, and I know you're loved, and we're all loved, right? The universe loves us, okay? We're loved. And of course, we're gonna, what's in our best interest is actually gonna happen. Okay. And all we have to do is be grateful. That's our main job, actually. Number one job while you're on earth. Be grateful. Okay. I would if you just embodied that one thing, gratitude, and if that's the only thing you could get right, if you were awful in 1,000 other ways, but you were really grateful, and people like the fact that you're thankful and grateful, you're gonna be all right. Yeah. That to me, you can go a long ways in this world on gratitude. Okay. And I'm telling you, the universe loves to keep giving things that people are grateful for to the people that are grateful for it. Right? Oh, you like that? Let me give you some more because I love you. Oh, you're grateful still. Okay, here's some more. Right? And this is why the opposite also works. The people that worry all the time, the people who are negative all the time, they're attracting those things into their life. And then they keep getting more and more stuff that they don't like. And you keep getting more stuff that make them feel bad. You keep getting more stuff to pile onto their negativity, and then they get more negative and more negative and more negative. And it gets deeper and deeper and deeper because the universe is you keep telling us that's what you want. Right? We're just listening to what you keep talking about this, or you keep thinking about this. It must be something that you want. Right? The universe doesn't really do the same thing we do, like in taking the temperature. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Is this a positive thing, a negative thing? It just like attracts like. It's kind of like nature, right? Think about it like that. So there you go. If you want more good stuff in your life, fill your life full of gratitude, like today, I'm really grateful that I've got these beautiful grandkids, and got to hang out with them. It's precious time, and fleeting, but, because technically they're way over on the East Coast. That's where they just happen to be here for a short period of time. It was only a 6-hour drive for me to go from where I was over to where I'm at to come see them while they're here. So I figured it was a smart thing to do. One I'd seen before, but the other one is a new one. So the 2-year-old, and they're both. I love the age 2 and 4. That's a great age. So if you want to find out what I'm talking about, go to the Wall of Joy. There's some pictures of them there on the Wall of Joy. And they are bringing some joy into my life. So that's what the Wall of Joy is all about. So if you want to throw up your grandkids onto the Wall of Joy, feel free to do the same thing. Okay. If it brings you joy, that's what the Wall of Joy is there for. Express it, share it. Okay. That's what it's all about. All right. Okay. Well, good meeting today. Thank you all for being here. This is our last training for the week. Y'all getting paid $50 in PML for being here that are qualified for paid training. And I love all the hearts. I'm seeing lots of hearts all over the screen right now. Thank you for all your hearts. I love it. So I appreciate that. And today, how about we say something like, yeah, I just want you guys to feel like you deserve a good life. I think we need to say it sometimes out loud, right? So we just need to say, I deserve a good life, right? And I think that's what we need to resonate. And whatever you have in your head, what a good life looks like, hold that picture as you say it. But I think each one of us, because if you only knew what you are, you would know that of course you deserve a good life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you answer the question of what are you, and then let me tell you, what goes along with that is you deserve a good life. Okay. Right? Because that's what you are, and that's why you deserve a good life. Okay. So it's really, of course, you deserve it. All of us deserve it. So everybody unmute now and say, I deserve a good life.
I
I
deserve a good
deserve a
life.
good life.
Woo!
I deserve a good life.
I deserve a good life.
I
Go
decided
help.
a good night.